Hey, welcome back. This is part 2 of a 6-part series from my pre-review of Quests from the Infinite Staircase, a new and upcoming Dungeons & Dragons release from Wizards of the Coast. If you missed my first video, I covered The Lost City, an iconic adventure written by Tom Moldvay. Be sure to go back and check it out right after this one. There's a link to it in the description. In today's video, we're exploring the second adventure in Quests from the Infinite Staircase, When a Star Falls. When a Star Falls is a first edition AD&D adventure released in 1984 and written by Graeme Morris. Originally designed for 6 to 10 characters of character levels 3 to 5, When a Star Falls takes a party of adventurers on a quest to recover none other than a falling star. It sounds like an epic quest, and the artwork on the module's cover looks intriguing. When a Star Falls begins at the Tower of the Heavens, an ancient structure standing resolute in the middle of a vast, fast-flowing river. This tower has stood for centuries, home to sages who divine the future by studying the stars. At the top of the credits page of the original module, there's text that reads like a short poem. The shooting star, omen of power. To some, it was the agent of disaster. But to one old man in his tower, it came as no surprise. The old man this text is referring to is Shalfei. Shalfei is the elder sage of the Tower of the Heavens. He has an innate power that he inherited from the unbroken line of elder sages that came before him. Shalfei's power allows him to read the cryptic letters of the ancient books kept in the Tower of the Heavens, allowing him to see the future by deciphering the prophecies described within these tomes. But even with this great power, Shalfei cannot turn more than one page at a time within a book, which limits his ability to see far into the future. So there's something exciting coming up on this channel. When I reach 100 subscribers on this channel, I'm going to give away one of my very own personal copies of an original Dungeons & Dragons module. The details are still being worked out on when this is going to happen because I have no idea when I'm going to reach 100 subscribers. But in order to enter, all you have to do is go to the link below and subscribe to my newsletter so you can keep track of this channel and the other things that I'm working on. By subscribing to my newsletter, you'll automatically be entered to win. So don't delay. When a Star Falls starts with a celestial event, an event foretold in one of these ancient books of prophecy. This adventure begins as the characters witness a star plummeting from the sky, and they're tasked with recovering it. But this isn't just any fallen star. According to the sages of astrology, this event is of cosmic significance, and the star holds powerful secrets. But there's a twist. The power of the prophecy is in danger of falling into the wrong hands. Evil forces seek to exploit the star's power, and it's up to the heroes of this adventure to ensure that that doesn't happen. The Tower of the Heavens itself is a marvel, filled with astronomical wonders and ancient secrets. It's a place where the lines between science and magic blur, and the characters will encounter challenges that test their wits and resolve. As the characters delve deeper, they'll uncover the prophecy's true meaning and face foes who seek to use the star for dark purposes. From cunning rivals to celestial beings, the threats are varied and formidable. Let's go on a sidetrack for a moment. I find one thing about this module peculiar. Let me know if you feel the same way. So the title of the adventure is When a Star Falls. A falling star is a meteor. It's a space rock that starts to burn up and cause a nice little streak in the sky as the friction from the planet's atmosphere heats it up. If this space rock is large enough, it could survive some of this heat death and eventually hit the planet. A space rock floating in space is called a meteoroid. If and when it hits a planet's atmosphere, it becomes a meteor as it plummets through the planet's atmosphere due to gravity. If it survives the atmosphere and is capable of hitting the ground, and it isn't obliterated from the force of impact, anything that's left is a meteorite. However, there's not a single mention of the words meteor or meteorite anywhere in this module. And I mean anywhere, like 0 entries. Don't you think that's a little odd? Okay, end of sidetrack. Now here's the fun part. This is where I speculate on how Wizards of the Coast is going to transform this first edition module into 5e rules, while also thinking about the other releases that are coming this year for the 50th anniversary of Dungeons & Dragons. Wizards has mentioned the inclusion of updated mechanics in Quest for the Infinite Staircase that should bring new life to the original adventures. In When a Star Falls, there's a strong emphasis on exploration and puzzle solving, with combat taking a backseat at times. The atmosphere is one of mystery and discovery, perfect for those who love unraveling cosmic mysteries. In a recent video talking about the upcoming and revised Dungeon Master's Guide, Chris Perkins mentions a new layout or reordering of the DMG so that it focuses more on new Dungeon Masters, rather than starting out by talking about governments and politics in the campaign.
Yeah, you want new Dungeon Masters to instantly be able to feel like they're being supported by the book.
Absolutely, and one of the things that we want to do to address that is the current DMG, the way it's organized, it kind of throws you right into the deep end of the pool. Like Chapter 1 is about building a campaign.
Right.
And coming up with different governments and figuring out what your currencies are and what the religions of the world are. That's a deep dive right off the bat.
I think this is a great idea. In fact, when I drafted the opening of my upcoming book, Life is Just a Fantasy, a Dungeon Master's Blueprint for D&D, I had my friend James read it to see what he thought about it. James knows what D&D is, but he's never been a DM. So after he read my opening to the book, he was unclear what some of the terms meant. And that's understandable. This is valuable feedback, which made me rethink the order of the chapters. Now I have a Chapter 0 for readers who have never been a Dungeon Master before and are new to tabletop role-playing games. Some of the more experienced Dungeon Masters can skip that chapter, or use it as a refresher. Now in the marketing materials for Quest of the Infinite Staircase, Wizards of the Coast has said that Dungeon Masters will appreciate the detailed guidance provided to help run this adventure smoothly. Tips for navigating this quest include using the star's significance to drive the plot and leveraging the tower's unique setting to create memorable encounters. This is an interesting statement, but what could it mean? Well, since the character level ranges are an important component of any adventure, allowing the Dungeon Master to run an enjoyable and balanced game, perhaps Wizards of the Coast plans to include some sort of DM callouts and asides based on the level of the Dungeon Master. That would be appropriate in these adventures so novice DMs are better prepared for running it. For example, when Wizards of the Coast mentions that Quest from the Infinite Staircase will contain tips on the star's significance to drive the plot, this makes me think that this book will call out some specific sections for newer Dungeon Masters, or to help more advanced DMs better understand storytelling devices like plot evolution, character arcs, and sub-stories. Perhaps there's even something in there about foreshadowing and how to use it. Let me know what you think in the comments. That's it for When a Star Falls. In Part 3, we'll dive into Beyond the Crystal Cave, another classic adventure included in Quests of the Infinite Staircase. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.